Hey! Hey you! What are you doing in here? The vault's off limits to people like you. Be gone. Whoa, wait a minute. Do I know you? You look familiar to me. VC? Yeah, VC. Hey, come on in, man. I'm sorry. Hey, listen, it's been a while. I forgot. Hey, I'm not really good with names, but I remember a face. Come on in. It's good to see you again. What have I been doing? Living the same as everybody else, man. I wanted to stop by. It's kind of spurred off of old Laz is back. He's showing some videos again, and I figured seems maybe us old heads need to come back in the VC and show you young whippersnappers what it's all about. Where this has all come from and what it all really means. So why don't you sit down and pay attention, son, because I'm going to school you. I want to start with some simple stuff, okay? Just to kind of get back in the swing of things again, all right? Get the wheels greased up, right? This is helmet. Meantime. And it's split. It's a lickety split. And it's sideways, of course. My first one I'll be showing backwards. Red and blue split. If you've got any reservations about this LP sounding like a pressed, digitized turd that most of this revival, this vinyl revival was about, because you really don't know what it is you're buying, you just think you bought a record and now you're awesome. This actually sounds really good, and I think you'll be quite happy with the sound overall. It sounds as good as the CD or better. My recommendation is to put it on your turntable and crank this shit up, man. Hey, do you know Caius? Did I ask you if you knew Caius? Nah? Yeah, you do. You do. You don't? Okay. How about Fu Manchu? You know Fu Manchu? Everybody knows the mongoose, right? Well, why don't you check this dude out? Brant Bjork? He was here in the very beginning. The desert rock movement? This dude was right there making the history. He was part of it all. Went out on his own. He's doing some super awesome shit. Went out on his own a long time ago. He's making really good stuff. Stonery, vintage. This album in particular, it's got rhythm and lead guitars, very classic sound, 60 sounding guitars, 70 sounding guitars, cool total stoner stuff, some heady stuff. Highly recommended. The price, however, is not highly recommended. This is just simply black on a normal thin a cover. $29 or $30 or some kind of shit like that. A little too much, but seeing how I love this guy so much, I got no problem supporting him and his musical endeavors. Do you like doom? Do you like earth-shattering doom? Do you like doom that goes in your ear and ends up out of your spine and shatters your hip all over the back of the wall, and you're paralyzed on the floor, those type of ground pounding riffs, doom riffs? If you want your spine shattered, if you want to kick the floor because these riffs are so tasty, if you like your riffage to go with your protein, here's the full daily supply of riffage right here. This is super doom, man. I really dig this stuff. Hard driving doom. Some of those repetitive riffs, I call them so tasty that you just need another spoonful and another spoonful and another spoonful. Yes, sir. I'll take another and I'll take another and I'll take another. Right? I'll take it till the cows come home. This dude, Carl. This dude's name is Carl. I forget his last name. He's basically the driving force behind Wretch. Vocals, does the writing, guitar. He plays this killer SG, his beat up SG. He was in a band prior to this called The Gates of Slumber. I wouldn't call it quite as bare bones as this. There's something very earthy about this doom. Not overproduced, not overly embellished, very simple, very personal. It kind of gets you as a human with that inner metronome, that heartbeat kind of thing going. This will really get your toe tapping. Maybe tap your toe right through the floorboard and end up pissing off your landlord. I wanted to show you some Trax. So I think for a while, because I've got such a backlog of stuff, I'm going to show you some wax, and then I'm going to show you some Trax. So let me show you some Trax. You remember a while ago I showed you this James Brown cart. as we in the biz call them, cartridge, an 8-track cartridge. You don't know? You'd know. You don't know? It's okay. Here we are. Well, let's talk about it. This is an 8-track cartridge. Goes in your 8-track player. It's in very good shape. I picked this up a while back and I showed it to you guys. The reason I'm showing you that is because recently I stumbled on another copy of this from what we affectionately call these truck stop carts. And that's essentially because they were bootlegs and they weren't allowed to sell them, but they sold them at truck stops. Here's that truck stop cart. And one more real quick before my battery dies. This is Robin Trower, Long Misty Days. I was real happy to find this for, it was $1 or $2. Had to split it and I had to fix it. 8 tracks, wax and tracks. Guys, it's been great seeing you. I don't want to lose my footage on my very first video ever. I'm sorry. I'm going to bring this back next time very soon, and this is going to be hopefully a regular thing. To all the VC members, past and present, I'd like to thank you for my 730 subs, which I didn't even know I had. Last time I did a video, it was about 400, so thank you. I've got a contest coming up for that whole thing. Thank you very much. And as I always say, if you don't know, learn.